The Great Wall of China, which is one of the ancient wonders of the world, is a series of stone and various other materials in northern China. It was built to protect the northern borders of the Chinese Empire from various nomadic groups. It has been worked on from the 5th century BC through the 16th century. One of the most famous walls were built by the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, who lived from 220 to 206 BC. Much of the wall doesn't stand today. Most of the work was done by the Ming dynasty. The Great Wall stretches from Shenhaiguan in the east to Lop Lake in the west. The wall measures 5,500.3 miles, but only 3,889.5 miles is actual wall. The rest of the wall is made up of 223.5 miles of trenches and 1,387.2 miles of natural defenses such as hills and rivers. The Chinese were already familiar with the techniques of wall building by the time of the Spring and Autumn period, which began around the 8th century BC. During the Warring States period from the 5th century BCE to 221 BCE, the states of Qin, Wei, Zhao, Qi, Yan, and Zhongshan all constructed major defenses around their borders. They were mostly made for small armies with swords and spears. Qin Shi Huang conquered all the fighting states and unified China in 221 BCE, starting the Qin dynasty. Trying to impose a unified rule, he ordered the destruction of the wall sections that divided his empire from the former state borders. To protect the empire against invasions by the Xiongnu people from the north, he ordered the building of a new wall to connect the remaining walls along the empire's new northern border. Transporting the large number of materials needed for the wall was hard to transport, so builders always tried to use local resources. Since there is no remaining written documentation, we do not know the exact length or course of the Qin dynasty walls. Most of the ancient walls have eroded away over the centuries, and very few sections remain today. It is unknown how many people died building the wall, but some authors estimate hundreds of thousands. Later, the Han, Sui, and Northern dynasties all repaired, rebuilt, or expanded sections of the Great Wall to protect them from the north. During the Qin dynasty, Genghis Khan, a known leader who united northern nomadic tribes, was able to penetrate the wall and able to conquer northern China. After the Mongol Empire, China was once again under their own rule by the Ming dynasty. During the 14th century, the Great Wall was once again worked on during the Ming dynasty. After losing in the Battle of Tumu against the Oirats and failing to keep the upper hand over the Manchurian and Mongolian tribe, it took a toll on the empire, so the Ming adapted a new way to keep them out. They started constructing walls on the northern borders of China. Unlike the walls constructed in the Qin dynasty, the Ming people built the wall stronger and more elaborate because the use of bricks instead of rammed earth. Due to the Mongol raids periodically through the year, the Ming used a substantial amount of resources to repair and reinforce the wall. The wall near the Beijing, the Ming capital, was especially strong, consisting of 3 separate walls. One famous penetration in the wall was the Battle of Shanhai Pass in Shenhaiguan in 1644. This battle of king over the Ming dynasty, which signaled the end of the Ming dynasty and crowned king to reign over China, making Qing dynasty the last dynasty in the history of China. The Jiayongguan Pass had many different names in the past dynasties. However, the name Jiayongguan was used by more than 3 dynasties. It was first used in the Qin dynasty when Emperor Qin Shi Huang ordered the building of the Great Wall. Jiayongguan Pass has 2 passes, one at the south and one at the north. The south one is called Nan Pass, and the north one is called Baidiling. This pass was connected to the Great Wall in the southern and northern dynasties. The Jiayongguan literally means Excellent Valley Pass. It's the first pass at the west end of the Great Wall of China, near the city of Jiayongguan in Gansu Province. Among the passes on the Great Wall, Jiayuguan is the most intact surviving ancient military building. The pass is also known by the name the First and Greatest Pass Under Heaven. The pass was a key waypoint of the ancient Silk Road. Jiayuguan has a somewhat fearsome reputation because Chinese people who were banished were ordered to leave through Jiayuguan for the west, never to return.